Weather Authority local forecast.
Unless you check out your calendar, earlier today you wouldn't have known that it was the month of November because it was just so warm, but we're settling in on a pretty nice night. Here in the desert Southwest, we look at your RV World Yuma Sky Cam, just a view of 4th Avenue and 16th Street in Yuma on this elections eve. Now here's what we're looking at beyond this particular vantage point. As you can see, the satellite radar perspective giving you a little bit of a precipitation perspective over in northern Arizona, stretching into portions of Utah, even Nevada, but desert Southwest, nothing of the sort. So we're keeping it clear as far as we're concerned. Now, temperatures as they stand, pretty much in the 70s for the most part, with the exception of Ocotillo, still holding on to those 80s. And on the Yuma side of things, we see lots of 70s popping up in eastern Yuma County, peppered with a couple of 80s in Yuma as well as the foothills area also. Now, here's what we're looking at with Eta, as it still is a Category 4 storm about to make landfall. This thing is going to get torn apart pretty quick-like because of the mountainous terrain, not friendly to tropical storms or hurricanes. It'll weaken this thing considerably, and it looks like it'll re-strengthen when it heads out into water as well, which will be a very interesting scenario indeed. Your futurecast high pressure definitely being felt here in the desert Southwest. Not as much tomorrow, although it still will have a presence. But then we'll get a resurge of it as we get on to the end of the week, meaning we're going to get some pretty high temperatures. So we're not going to escape it just yet. 74 degrees by 8 a.m. come election day, and then by 2 in the afternoon we'll be in the low end 90s. So if you're heading out to the polls tomorrow, and especially if it's in the afternoon, maybe take a bottle of water with you just to make sure you're hydrated. But as you can see, we'll get into the 80s as we get on into election evening. Now, here's a look at your polar cooling extended forecast. Election day will be in the low end 90s, and then we're going to rise the temperatures beyond the fact into the high end 90s. So we could be in record territory by the end of the week, but notice as you look to the second half of your forecast, a drastically different temperature tone, because we do have a low pressure system that's expected to really bring in a blast of cold air, and well, at least compared to what we're getting now, will be about 20 degrees lower. So that's what we can come to expect. We'll have the wind speeds that go along with it as well. So Adonis, a tale of two types of temperatures.